a peaceful protest. How did it turn into a movement involving thousands of people? And how did the detention of one man become the turning point that changed everything? June 20th, 2026. Every major movement in history doesn't begin with thousands of people. It begins with just a handful. In this case, members of the CJP and a group of students began a peaceful sit-in protest. Over the alleged NEET paper leak, demanding the resignation of India's Education Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan. For the first 7 days, the protest seemed as if it might quietly fade away. Then, one person arrived. And his arrival changed everything. Sonam Wangchuk. For those unfamiliar with him, Sonam Wangchuk is an engineer and social activist from Ladakh. For years, he has worked to improve education, protect the environment, and advocate for the rights of the people of Ladakh. Days passed. The protest continued. The hunger strike went on. Many protesters began feeling that their demands were not receiving meaningful attention. According to psychology, when people repeatedly feel that their voices are not reaching those in authority, frustration begins to grow. And when many individuals share the same frustration, they often become more organized, more determined, and louder in expressing their demands. Then suddenly, something happened that emotionally connected thousands of people. Psychology tells us that human beings rarely react only to facts. They react to emotions. When Sonam Wangchuk was detained from the protest stage, many people perceived the incident as an injustice. Whether or not everyone agreed on every demand, the emotional impact united many supporters. This is where something interesting happens. People stop thinking only about themselves. They begin identifying with a larger cause. In social psychology, this process is known as collective identity. Soon, the same video, the same photographs, and the same messages began spreading rapidly across social media. As millions encountered the same emotional content, many started viewing the event through a similar emotional lens. Social psychologists call this emotional contagion. Just as a smile or fear can spread from one person to another, anger, sadness, and the desire for justice can spread as well. But the story didn't end there. When people feel that those in authority are ignoring them or restricting their ability to be heard, their reaction often becomes even stronger. Psychology refers to this as psychological reactance. In simple words, when people believe their freedom, voice, or choices are being limited, many respond by resisting even more strongly. As the hunger strike continued, Many supporters believed that their concerns were still not being addressed, even after large crowds had gathered at Jantar Mantar. For many participants, this strengthened their determination rather than weakening it. At that point, the movement was no longer only about one demand. It became a question of trust. Because the greatest strength of any education system is not its syllabus or its examinations, it is public trust. When trust exists, people are more willing to accept difficult outcomes. But when trust begins to erode, the discussion expands far beyond a single exam or a single protest. It becomes a national conversation about the system itself. Interestingly, the movement gradually expanded beyond the alleged NEET paper leak. As public participation grew, so did the demands. Calls for Sonam Wangchuk's release, along with compensation for affected students and their families, also became part of the movement. And perhaps that's why this story isn't only about a protest, it's also about human psychology. How emotions, trust, and shared identity can sometimes transform a small voice into a nationwide movement. On the night of July 23, 2026, after 26 days, Sonam Wangchuk ended his hunger strike. He stated that he made this decision after receiving written assurances from the government and to help prevent any possible violence in the country. But the story was still not over. On July 25, 2026, another major development took place. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan resigned from his position. Many people viewed it as a significant victory for the movement. However, the CJP and several protesters made it clear that their struggle was not over. According to them, many of their demands remained unresolved, and until clear decisions were made, the protest would continue. So the real question is, was the resignation of one minister the destination of this movement? Or merely the beginning of a much larger story? Only time will answer that. If you'd like me to make another documentary explaining the psychology behind the government's decisions, the evolution of the movement, and how public opinion changed from 2014 to today, let me know in the comments.